Okay. Dominic, thanks. And thank you all for coming together around the round table. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. We're also, I want to point out, joined by some future business leaders of America. This whole class of people. So gentlemen, with all of those great companies, with your Maryland presence, there they are. That's the future of Maryland. This is a great day, and this is an important initiative. You know, many years ago, realizing what we had as a state when it came to life science and biotechnology, we decided to build upon NIH and Johns Hopkins and all of the great research that Senator Mikulski fights so hard to secure, along with our congressional delegation. We realized that while all of this research and this healing is very good in and of itself, it also, though, has tremendous job-creating potential. And therefore, we have been able to do some very positive things. Over the last year, 95% of Maryland's jobs came from private sector job creation. But many of those jobs chose to locate here and to be here because of what happens in Maryland when it comes to life science and biotech, and now increasingly security and cybersecurity. For most of our civilization, we've been trying to figure out how to secure the air and the land and the water around our nation. More recently, space. And now there's a fifth domain, and that is the cyber domain. And so much important work happens at NSA and with the small companies all around NSA that the truth of the matter is that because of those important and needed investments in our cybersecurity, Maryland was already the epicenter of cybersecurity. What we need to do is make sure that we capitalize on the security mission to create jobs and expand opportunities for Maryland and Maryland's young people. So with the signing today, with County Executive Ike Leggett, who's always on the cutting edge of new emerging industries and sectors. I think few counties in our nation are as dynamic as Montgomery County is in terms of its economy and diversity and the level of the skills level of her people. And also Dr. Patrick Gallagher, who is here, the director of NIST. The signing today, we're going to bolster that epicenter role. We have a higher percentage of PhD scientists and engineers in our workforce than any other state. There are at least 9,000 Marylanders already employed in the cybersecurity sector, and we are investing to grow that workforce through employer-led job training efforts like EARN, and Martin Nod is here from the Governor's Workforce Investment Board. And we are also have been doing a number of things like the creation of the cybersecurity tax credit, which is new. This year we are proposing increasing that from $3 million to $4 million in this year's budget. And with the Future Business Leaders of America, we are talking about the Invest Maryland initiative and that $85 million sock of venture capital that will be available not only to life science and biotech companies, but also to cyber startups. So look, the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence builds on those activities. It is really all about creating jobs and making safer those virtual spaces that all of us depend upon for our banking, for our electric grid, for our internet, and for our personal information. A permanent home for the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence in Montgomery County's Innovation Corridor will create jobs and spur innovation for many, many decades to come. And there is no one who understands just how important this industry is and this mission is to our nation than Senator Barbara Mikulski. No one has done more to spur Maryland's innovation economy than this woman has in the halls of Congress. She is always, I used to work for her when I was almost your age. In 1986, I worked on her campaign, and she kindly asked me to come into the halls of her office and be a legislative fellow there. And she understands more keenly than most the connections between the connections. She doesn't look at the world as these isolated silos. She sees that cybersecurity and the nation's health is related to our economy in Maryland and the work that talented moms and dads have to do in their lives in order to give their children a better future. So we're grateful for her work, and we're proud to have her represent us in Washington. Please welcome our United States Senator, Barbara A. Mikulski.
Good morning, everyone. Governor, thank you for your kind words, but most of all, your leadership. Your leadership today as we join together as federal, state, and private sector partners on making sure that for the United States of America, we have a safer country, we have a stronger economy, and we have job opportunities for our young people. And by harnessing the resources of the federal government, working at the state and local level in Montgomery County, we hope to be able to accomplish all three. I'm happy to be here today to announce that the federal government has put another $15 million in fiscal 14 for the functioning of the National Center for Excellence, a tech transfer center that is located in Montgomery County, to be part of what we've done already for a total of $35 million. But it is not only about the building that is in Montgomery County, it's what we're going to build together in terms of taking new ideas into new products to make both individuals are safer as they use their devices like this or their credit card like that. And so today, what we're furthering is the announcement for a continuing on the Memorandum of Agreement between the federal government, the state government, local, and most of all, our private sector. This is really crucial. When we look at the headlines, we see where we've been hacked, but we don't want to be had. Target, the famous Michael's Arts and Crafts Show, Neiman Marcus, more than 70 million customers had their credit card data stolen, making this a really national disaster, both for the corporation and for the individual credit holder. We want to do something about these cybersecurity threats to your personal identity, to your credit card security, to your records, be they financial records or your medical records. That's what we're focusing on. A few years ago, we met at the National Institutes of Standards. Governor O'Malley and I helped kick off a conference. We said then, as we say now, we want Maryland to be the epicenter for cybersecurity in the United States of America, and we can do it because we have great assets. We have turbo assets. First of all, we have the federal assets that cannot leave. The National Institutes of Standards, well known for creating both national standards, but leading the way in civilian research and development in cybersecurity. And also we have in the national security, we have IARPA, the Intelligence Advanced Research Agency, that will also lead the way. We have great universities in University of Maryland and in Johns Hopkins. And at University of Maryland, our turbo assets are not concentrated only on one campus. It's College Park, it's Bowie, it's UMBC, it is Towson. University of Maryland is the premier land-grant college leading the way in cyber education from a bachelor's degree to a PhD. But we also have a robust community college system. So if you're a veteran and you've come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, you have a job, you will have an opportunity to use that GI Bill to go to one of our great community colleges or to a college. If you're a young man and woman with a technical aptitude and you want to be part of exciting fields protecting our country, either in defense or in the .com world, this is the place for you. But though we have these great assets, we have to pull them together. And that's what we're doing right now today with this. It's God, I love these bureaucratic terms. It's the Project Intermediary Agreement. What it is a pledge that we all continue to work together, to unite the public forces to work with the private sector. That's what we're here to do, to be the incubator of new businesses that will help our community. We've seen this all over, from organized crime and hackers to others who are actually attacking us. We do a pretty good job of protecting .mil. We do a pretty good job protecting .gov, but we have to protect .com. And in this agreement with the National Center on Cyber Excellence, the Tech Transfer Center, what we will be focusing on are those issues important to the nation. Healthcare, whether you use a mobile device, which could be an app, into other aspects of your life, or into your electronic medical records, you will be safe and secure because we'll be creating vaults. In energy, we need to both protect the grid, and if you use a smart meter, it's not another way to come into your home. And also, financial services, whether it's the credit card hacking, or right now, something I'm working with Senator Amy Klobuchar, a kill switch on every cell phone in America. We've introduced legislation, so if you steal it, it won't work and you can't sell it. We feel will reduce crime in America. These are the kinds of things that are out there, but most of all, thanks to the genius of our private sector, their entrepreneurial verve, that they'll come up with new products that'll protect both our country, our community, and individuals. And so here today, in the true sense of partnership, we want the best of government working with the best of private sector and our great universities to really help, again, as I said, jobs today, jobs tomorrow, a safer country, and a stronger economy. So may that force be with us.
Mikulski, as always, it's wonderful to join you in celebrating some of the new things we've been able to do together at NIST. And in particular today, I'd like to recognize her for the major role she's played in this center. And it was actually even more than the appropriation and the funding, which was indispensable. It was also the vision for creating a portal where the government could work with industry, and how important that was to this endeavor that the center is all about. And so today we're here to celebrate the next important phase in this creating this national resource for cybersecurity. And we've brought the band back together, so it's a double pleasure for me to be joining Governor O'Malley and County Executive Leggett and Secretary Murray to bring together this and sign this Partnership Intermediary Agreement. It does have a very bureaucratic name, but what it does is it provides the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence with a real home, a real partnership, and an expanded footprint, both physical and programmatic. Not far from NIST. We felt it was important not to be on our campus, but close by in Montgomery County. In addition to providing the Cybersecurity Center of Excellence with facilities support, I should note that the state and county are active participants in the technology and education mission of the center. They are identifying and recommending local technology companies for participation. And this agreement formalizes and furthers the commitments we have already made to work with industry sectors, technology providers, large and small. The center has been working with a variety of economic sectors, including those that affect our country's most critical infrastructure. That includes energy suppliers, healthcare, financial services, and others, to address their cybersecurity challenges and to accelerate the adoption of security technologies that are really based on best practice. 18 IT industry leaders have joined these efforts and have become our partners in the National Cybersecurity Excellence Partnership Initiative. And I'd like to thank all of them, and especially those 3 companies who are representing that group who have joined us here today from Hewlett-Packard, Cisco, and Intel. Your partnership with us is really what makes all the difference in this endeavor. This agreement that we're signing today encourages technology transfer of government-developed technologies to companies for licensing and from one government agency to another. It will also help the state and county departments of economic development support new security technology companies and products, so that this goal that the Senator just spoke of both addressing the cybersecurity interest of our country and at the same time creating opportunities for job growth and economic development occur at the same time. All of this growth in the field of cybersecurity will need an educated workforce. So the state, the county, and the Cybersecurity Center of Excellence will work together to identify future workforce needs and provide opportunities for high school, college, and graduate students. The center will have a positive impact on cybersecurity and our economy thanks to the support of everyone who has joined us and who is committing real time, real energy, and real resources to make this success. So on behalf of everyone at NIST, I want to thank everyone for their partnership. And now I'd like to introduce one of you to welcome the county executive up here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Governor, I really like that very elaborate sign you have here. The state of Maryland and Montgomery County are pleased to sponsor the National Cyber Center of Excellence located at 9700 Great Seneca Highway, Montgomery County, Maryland. It's a wonderful sign. It is my pleasure to join Governor O'Malley, U.S. Senator Barbara Mikulski, Undersecretary Secretary for Standards and Technology, United States Department of Commerce, Dr. Patrick Gallagher, Maryland Department of Business and Economic Development, Secretary Dominic Murray, Steve Silverman, and our team from the Office of Economic Development in Montgomery County, and the local, state, and federal representatives here today. This partnership agreement between NIST, Montgomery County, Maryland, state of Maryland, clearly signifies that Montgomery County, Maryland, as the hub of the civil cybersecurity in the nation. I want to thank personally Senator Mikulski for her steadfast leadership on this important initiative. Let's give another round of applause because this could not have happened without her. Thank you, Senator. And certainly our Governor, Governor O'Malley, for his continued support of our efforts to bolster our local and statewide economy through the creation of the new Center for Business and Jobs in Montgomery County and throughout the state of Maryland. Also applaud the many private sector partners, several of whom are here today, who are actively engaged in this important initiative as well. With the creation of the National Cyber Center of Excellence and the official implementation of the partnership agreement between Montgomery County, the state of Maryland, and NIST, the NCCoE will no doubt fulfill its mission to create a pre-competitive environment for public and private sector organizations to collaboratively develop cybersecurity solutions. In addition, it will also help leverage local and state federal cybersecurity assets to support economic development objectives as well. Key among these is the participation of small and startup businesses in the NCCoE that will continue to help us to leverage all that we have and all that we've done so far. This partnership agreement is one that I think is highly important for us, but it's not one that we look at alone. Montgomery County will continue its ongoing efforts and investment that we've made in biohealth as well. I am delighted to be here on behalf of our 1 million residents of Montgomery County to welcome and to congratulate all of us for this partnership and the work that we've done thus far, but what I know will be continued work for jobs, security for the future. It is a wonderful day to find this agreement and to acknowledge the presence of so many in this room who've helped make this possible. Montgomery County is delighted to be the home of the National Center for Cybersecurity. Congratulations and thank you all today.